This POV history video of a British redcoat has over 1.6 million views. This one of a Spanish conqueror has hundreds of thousands. These two videos are the pioneers of this new TikTok niche that's completely untapped, but also set to go extremely viral. They've already made this account thousands of dollars, and they're about to make a lot of people extremely rich. The question is, will you be one of them? If you watch this video to the end, you'll have the exact blueprints on how to make this content right in the palm of your hand. But you must hurry, as this niche won't stay untapped forever. Let's waste no more time and jump straight in. To begin, you want to head to the video's description and open the Google Doc. This contains all the links that we'll use today. In there, I've also left a free guide on how to make your first $100 online. So the first thing we need are some video ideas. To get these, once you're on the AI, start by asking it to list 10 interesting POVs from history. All these prompts will be in the Google Doc for you to copy over. Also in the Google Doc are some TikTok accounts that give you access to the creativity program regions. As you can see, the AI has left us with a list of POVs for us to use. I like this one about Nagariki, so I'll go ahead and pick it for the video. Now you want to copy the prompt and paste it back into ChatGPT. I'll then ask the AI to describe 15 action-packed key moments in a week for our idea. If I skip ahead, you can now see that the AI has left us with 15 different scenes that we can use, and by reading through them, I like the sound of them. We'll now enter our last prompt. This will basically ask the AI to take all of the scenes and turn them into Leonardo image generation prompts. Remember guys, these will all be in the Google Doc. Now, let's create our visuals. For this, I'll use Leonardo. Once you're on Leonardo, go to image generation. There are a few settings to adjust. The first thing we need to do is start by firstly changing the preset to Leonardo Phoenix, as it generates the best type of images. After that, scroll down and set the generation style to the highest possible setting. After that is done, head below and change the image dimensions to the TikTok format, which is under this More option. This will ensure that our images are generated vertically. Next, go back to ChatGPT and copy the first prompt it made for us. Return to Leonardo and paste it into the generation box. Add the words ultra realistic at the end. If I skip ahead, you can now see the result. I'm really happy with how it looks. If you're satisfied with your design, we can continue making the rest. My original images weren't from a POV, so I added this additional prompt that reads first-person perspective of, and added it to the images and future images to get the right perspective. Now, repeat this process for all the prompts. Copy each prompt and make sure you add ultra realistic and this additional prompt to it. Let's be honest, still images can be a bit dull, but don't worry, we'll turn these images into moving ones with just a click. Go to your Leonardo personal feed, click your first image, and you'll see an image to motion button. Click it. On the next page, adjust the strength between 2 and 4, depending on how much movement you want, and then hit generate. You now need to repeat this process for every single image that we generated. Click on them, set strength to 3, and repeat. I'll skip to when all these images are generated. As you can see, we now have our animated images, and I think that all of these look absolutely insane. If you're happy with them, select them all and download them so we can use them for our video. Now we have almost everything we need to make a viral video, but there's one last thing we need before we start editing. For this, I'll use a site called Pixabay, which offers a wide range of free music. Once you're on the site, select the sound effects option next to the search bar to refine our search. Now the first thing that I'll search for is cannon fire, as there is a huge cannon in our second scene. As you can now see, there are a lot of different sound effects for us to choose from. So what I'll do is I'll preview different ones by using this play button here. Once you've found one you like, you want to go ahead and download that sound effect. While on this cannon fire page, I've also found this one that's just fire, and I've realized that we need this also, so I'll go ahead and download it for our video. With that done, I'll now head back to the search bar and search for another thing that's relevant to my video, which is the sound of a church. There's this one here, that's just some search bells ringing, and I think this will be very good for our video as it's extremely atmospheric, so I'll save this also. The last thing that I'll grab is a basic chatter sound effect. You basically want to save sound effects for key scenes, but don't overdo it and get an effect for every single scene. With our sound effects done, we can now go ahead and edit our video. Real quick guys, to edit our video, open up CapCut. Once you're on here, the first thing you need to do is import everything that we've gathered. Let's add the AI images from Leonardo. Drag the first image onto the timeline and align it with the part of the voiceover it matches. If you're unsure which image goes where, just refer back to ChatGPT. It'll guide you. Go ahead and place your images on the timeline and adjust their duration. Once that's done, we'll add smooth transitions between each moving image. Go to Transitions in the top right. I like one called Black Fade. Search for it, then drag it between the first and second images. Adjust the transition duration to 0.3 seconds and click Apply to all. Now, every transition looks clean and consistent. With the transitions done, we can now add the sound effects. Head through your timeline and go ahead and add sound effects where you see fit. Once they're in place, you want to make sure that you reduce the volume so that they're not incredibly loud. Once they're all in place, our sound effects should now be done. The video's looking great, but I've got a few more tricks. Let's add the captions to our video. Head to text in the top left and add some default text to your video. Once it's in place, drag it to the top of your screen like so. Now you need to enter the POV text. So I'll put POV, a Byzantine scholar during the fall of Constantinople. You now want to scroll down and tick the boxes under stroke and under shadow. Once that's done, extend this text so that it covers the first scene. You now need to copy and paste this text for all your images. I'll fast forward this part, but just describe what's happening in the next scenes that correspond with your text. With our text done, we can now add some effects to our video. To do this, you want to head to the Effects tab and search for an effect. Some good ones are fire, light rays, black noise, and the list goes on. You want to drag in a few effects, but don't go overboard. Keep it simple like we did with the sound effects. That's the effects done. Before exporting, we'll add a final touch. Go to Adjustment in the top left and apply a custom adjustment. Set the saturation to around 10, as this makes the video more vibrant, and adjust the vignette to about 20 to darken the edges for a polished finish. Finally, head down to your timeline and place the adjustment layer below the text like so. Now, click Export in the top right. Make sure to export in 60 frames per second and 1080p for the best quality. And that's it. Here's the final result. That's all for today's video. Bye.